Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents Three from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Colenso. Welcome to the show. Happy March 1st. Hard to believe that we're in March here already. Kind of feeling that spring flavor here in the northern VA. But of course, this is a great time of year because we got, the NBA heating up. We're going to have a March Madness, college basketball. You got baseball is just around the corner. So this is a very exciting time of the year coming out of winter. So happy Saturday, y'all. Thank you all for joining me here. We greatly appreciate your support. Again, guys, if you haven't joined already and this is your first time joining me, I'm Jason Colenso. This is Three from Deep, your all NBA podcast. But if you get on the Boom Broadcasting Network, we do NBA, we do MLB, we do the NFL, we do wrestling, we have TV shows, we do a little bit of everything. So you have to check us out, please. We're striving for that 500 subscribers here on the Boom Broadcasting Network. So please like, subscribe, drop me some comments, whatever you got, man. Check me out here. Check the rest of us out. We have some great content providers here on the Boom Broadcasting Network. So what are we going to jump into today? It's been an interesting week in the NBA. So first, we're going to jump into Podcast P. I'm going to touch a little bit on this here because 76ers are driving me nuts, but we're going to bury the 76ers because I think they're finally done. I think the process is over, all the way over. So we're also getting into Steph Curry cooking up some magic. Woo! The other night, dropping 56 points. So we're going to touch base on that here. He had a phenomenal game. And we're going to talk about the legacy that is Chef Curry. And then we're also going to get into LeBron. LeBron re-energized at 40 years old, making us old guys feel good that you can kind of still do it. So did that Luka trade really give LeBron that push he needed to get back not only into the playoffs, but maybe into the NBA Finals? So it's going to be interesting to discuss that. And then we have our little layup line. I got a couple little things we're going to talk about here. We'll jump in the layup line. And I do my top fives. I have a special guest for my top fives here in a little bit here. So stay tuned. Sit back, relax. Got about 30 or so minutes with your boy NY. So first things first, I got a podcast. We're going to talk about Podcast P. I had a little bit of a exciting discussion on Out of Pocket Thursday night with my man Michael Davis and Cody from Drew Code Sports Talk. We had a nice little discussion about whether athletes, especially during the year, should have a podcast. I am pro. I am for it. Of course, we got some podcasts on podcast crime going on right now. But, the process is over for the poor Philadelphia 76ers. The Podcast P thing is just a kind of another nail in the coffin with a whole bunch of nails already in the coffin. Losing their ninth straight game on Wednesday to the Knicks, 110-105. Paul George took it upon himself and decided, guys, I think I need to hang my podcast up and pay attention to my craft. And I'll take this as part of his quote in taking a break from the podcast. He's going to do it to focus on getting my body right, getting mentally right, and helping this squad make a push towards our goal to finish the season and give ourselves a chance to be in contention to compete for a championship. And it's hard to read that without laughing. And I'm sure he truly does believe that. But do the 76ers have beef with Paul George? Should they have some buyer's remorse? They traded for Paul George, and then you turn around and essentially tell your team and tell your ownership and tell your fans that the podcast that you do has been distracting you and that you want to give and focus on the rest of the season. The season is 3/4 of the way over. So how you decided now to do it? It took a 9-game losing streak for you to realize that, guys, maybe I shouldn't be on a podcast. Um, I think Paul George should have kept this quiet. Um, it's definitely something that, he should have just kept to himself, bowed away a little bit, maybe put a little disclaimer on his website about doing his podcast after the season. But to announce it and to kind of make a big deal out of it just shows you how much of a dumpster fire the Philadelphia 76ers really are. It is unbelievable that we even had to have that discussion about players and having their own podcast and how it might distract them during the season. I don't understand how, you take an hour out of your day or even an hour out of your week to sit here and talk to your fans and kind of, discuss movies and music and whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about your team and, you're playing, that's within your purview. I'm sure your team may not like it, especially if you have a 9-game losing streak. You probably don't have some nice things to say about your squad. But, you're that distracted. These players, I don't know, they do all kinds of stuff during the season too. They go out, they go to dinner, they go to the club. I mean, you do all these other things. None of that is a distraction. So you've never heard a player go, hey, I'm going to stay home and watch game film and I'm not going to go out and I'm going to commit myself to the season. I don't think you've ever heard that before from a player. But for Paul George to come out and go, guys, I'm going to sit down for my podcast and I'm going to commit to you 3/4 of the way in season. You have a losing record going on right now. And then to add insult to injury, the report comes back that Joel Embiid is no longer available. He is out for the rest of the season. So I do not see the 76ers making the playoffs at all. I do not see them making any kind of push. They are now the laughing stock of the NBA. I thought the Wizards were bad, but with this kind of news where you have a player who is making $50 million a year, you traded for him, you were excited about getting him and pairing him with all these other guys, with Embiid and Maxey, and he comes out and essentially says that his podcast has been distracting him. So pretty embarrassing for the 76ers. It adds insult to injury. Very disappointed, but Sixers, the process is over. Get rid of just about everybody. Keep Maxey. You got a great young rookie there too. But Paul George needs to go. Joel Embiid needs to go. It's time to just empty everything out and start over again because we're all tired of that process. Unbelievable. Now, February 27th, one player loves that day, Mr. Steph Curry, to add to his mystique and his aura. Loves February 22nd. He's got 3 45-plus point games on February 27th. 2013, dropped 54 versus the Knicks in the Garden in a loss to the Knicks. My man Melo had 35. But dropped 54. 2016, he had 48 in an overtime win versus OKC. And then this past Thursday, cooking up some magic, Chef Curry dropping 56. And then, just in grand fashion, hits that 51, or I think it was 51 feet, 51-foot half-court buzzer beater like it's nothing, swish. Golden State 7-1 after the Butler trade, playing really, really well. 7th in the West, only a half game back from the Clips. 7-3 in the last 10 games. I am very impressed at how Golden State has kind of pulled it together. We thought they were dead. I thought in the beginning of the season, the Warriors' woes, I talked about it, that we didn't even think they were going to make the playoffs. I think we all left Steph Curry fading away in his later years. And guys, it's hard to believe. Steph Curry's 36 years old. the babyface assassin. He still looks like he did, 15 years ago, but 36 years old. We thought that he would be kind of fading away, the end of his career. Warriors were done. Draymond's no good no more. They traded for Jimmy Butler. There was all that drama surrounding it. Like, he kind of didn't want to go there, and guys didn't think it was going to be a good fit. But everybody has responded. Jimmy Butler is playing well. The Golden State Warriors are playing well. And Steph Curry coming out, shooting the hearts out of the Orlando Magic. Hit 12 three-point shots. But that's not a surprise. That's what Steph Curry does, guys. And I look at his legacy. I have to put Steph Curry in the top 10 all-time NBA players. I know earlier here when Kevin Durant hit 36,000 points, a lot of people, Mr. Stephen A. Smith, wanted to throw Kevin Durant in top 10. I'm sorry, I cannot put Kevin Durant in, but I damn sure can put Steph Curry in there. He belongs in the top 10 of all time. Unbelievable talent. Changed the game the way it's played as soon as he came into the league. He has the rings. He's going to have the points. He's going to have the three-point record pretty soon here. It is hard to deny him. So over the last 20 years, after kind of Kobe, left, who was those next, guys to take the mantle? Of course, you have LeBron James, and, we'll talk about him here in a minute. But LeBron James is top 5 in the NBA right now. But a close second to LeBron James in the NBA over the last 20 years is Steph Curry. And he is, to me, top 10 all-time NBA. One of the greatest shooters ever. The greatest shooter God ever created. And he just keeps adding to his aura and his legacy. Some of the shots he makes, some of the performances he has. It's just unbelievable to watch him. In the modern players, I have him, and I say modern, I think from about the 70s on. I think he's top 5 of the most influential players of all time. Top 5 most influential. The shots, the three-point line, what he does and the way he plays the game, he has changed the game. I mean, there was just that half-court shot, Michigan versus Maryland the other day, where kid hit the half-point shot to win the game for Michigan. They practice these shots now, and a lot of it is because of Steph Curry. It used to be trick shots where you were joking around and you had nothing else to do. You just kind of played in the gym. But now guys practice the deep three. They practice half-court shots. And that's all because of Steph Curry. It is unbelievable and it is amazing to watch the way he continues to perform. And I'm excited for the rest of this season because I would love to see Golden State in there, not just in the play-ins, but I want to see Golden State in the playoffs. And I want to see them make some noise because I think with Jimmy Butler, this team has a chance. The way they've responded, the way Jimmy Butler is playing, if they get playoff Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry shoots this way, the West, they're not going to be an easy out. I know they're not the youngest team in the league right now, but those young teams are going to have a tough time against those scrappy veterans. So let's go Golden State, man. It's so much fun to watch. And then finally, let's jump in here in this first segment. LeBron James, energized at 40. He's been taking that Nugenics. But right now, that Luka trade has transformed this Lakers team. When the trade happened, of course, everybody lost their mind. But then, okay, what are they going to do at center? Do they have enough? Is this trade for this year? Is this kind of a future thing? Luka, is he in shape? What's he going to come in and look like? How much of an impact is he going to make? Well, guys, the Lakers are 7-2. They've won 4 straight. Thursday night with that win over the T-Wolves, Mr. Edwards got ejected in the third quarter, but a win in the T-Wolves against the T-Wolves, 111-102. LeBron drops 33, 17 rebounds, and 40 years old, 17 rebounds and 6 assists, 33 points. He is playing unbelievable basketball. Luka drops in 21, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. So everybody was worried about the center position. When you're getting 30 rebounds from 2 guys who are under 7 feet, what are you going to do? That's just a lot of teams not boxing out. But right now they're doing it with defense. It is amazing how this trade has energized that team to play defense. Right now, they're ranked 4th in the NBA, 105.8 rating in defense. What can you say? It's just shocked everybody how well the Lakers were playing. We kind of knew they were a playoff team, but to do what they're doing now, for LeBron James to play at the level he's playing now, is miraculous. I know Michael Jordan had some decent games over the age of 40. To me, again, still the GOAT. But LeBron has just shown up after this trade and really put his arms around Luka. You can see the way Luka has changed. He's actually looks like he's in better shape now than he was before. So I think he took some of that stuff to heart. I think this trade, even though it kind of hurt him, it helped him progress. Sometimes you need that little kick in the pants in life to kind of get over the hump. And I think this, plus playing alongside one of the greatest basketball players in the past 25 years, I think Luka and his game and his attitude is going to completely change playing around LeBron James. And you can see how much LeBron has changed playing around Luka Doncic. He was playing with his boy AD. Did not play like this. So this is great. Right now, Lakers are 4th. They're a game back of the Nuggets, 1.5 games back from the Grizzlies. They can move up to maybe that second slot in the West. They have a chance. They play the Clippers Friday night. Guys, I record this show on Friday nights, so I'm going to miss some of tonight's game. I'll report on those and kind of give you some feedback on our next show here on Monday, especially coming out of the weekend. We'll touch base on that. But right now, LeBron James playing like he's 30, not 40. It is very impressive, and I'll give him props. I know I kind of beat him up a little bit because of the whole GOAT conversations. I get a little tired of that because I think there's more to being the GOAT than a lot of what these guys do, a lot of what LeBron James has done. I think there's just a little more that Jordan did to the global game of basketball. But LeBron James, phenomenal performance. And at 40, averaging 24.9, 8 rebounds, and 8.7 assists. You can't argue with that. You can't dispute the fact that he is now creeping up into the MVP conversation at 40. My crack visual staff here giving me my visuals. But LeBron James, I think, is making his way up the ladder and could be considered for MVP right now. Right now, you got SGA and Joker neck and neck a little bit here. You got to throw Giannis in there, of course. I'm a big fan of Jalen Brunson. I think he's playing phenomenal. But I think LeBron James is right up there now, the way he's playing, the way those Lakers are playing. It's hard to dispute it. If they can finish strong and if he can keep this up, watch his minutes. I'd be curious to see what happens there. West, you're on notice. There's some good teams out there, especially these young teams like the Rockets and OKC, who haven't really won anything and have no muscle memory on how to win. Golden State and LA, watch some old heads. They know this is kind of one of their last rides. They're going to give you everything. So it's going to be tough for any of those teams to get out of the West. So, all right, guys, we're going to take a timeout here real quick. I got somebody special I want to bring on. My son the other day he was at the park and found Woody, a little Woody doll in the park. And I thought that was apropos because, of course, if you guys watch Disney films, Toy Story 4, Woody, I'm going to say, essentially becomes a lost toy now and goes missing in the park. So that got me thinking. Come here, sit down, buddy. This is my son, guys. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Exactly. Peace. So this got me thinking. I like Disney movies, and you like Disney movies too, especially the animated ones. And of course, we're big fans of Toy Story, so that's awesome. But I'm going to give my top 5 animated Disney movies, and I'm going to let my son read them off here to you. So what's number 5?
WALL-E.
WALL-E. We love some WALL-E, don't we? WALL-E. Very exciting. It's one of our favorite movies. It's a little dramatic, little post-apocalyptic, but it is an awesome flick. It is a lot of fun to watch. We're waiting for the second one to come out. I don't know if we'll ever see the second one. We haven't seen anything yet, but fun movie, guys. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. What's number 2?
The Sorcerer.
The Sword in the Stone.
The Stone and the Snow.
The Sword and the Stone. The Sword and the Stone. It's one of my favorite movies, kind of a old Disney classic. You got Wart, who plays essentially King Arthur, pulling the sword from the stone. You have Merlin on there. You have Archimedes. You have them where they turn into chipmunks and squirrels and run through the tree. That's one of my favorite movies. That's a lot of fun to watch. You guys got to check it out. The Sword and the Stone. Good movie. What's my number 3? Robin Hood. Who doesn't like the story of Robin Hood? Rob from the rich, give to the poor. Well, Disney did a great version, especially with Sir Hiss. When he gets hurt, he goes, "Mommy," and starts sucking his thumb. So the Robin Hood, I love it. It's a great, great flick. You guys got to check it. What's number 2? Zootopia. Judy Hopps, Nick Wilde, trying to find out who's making all the carnivores go crazy. So I know that's a great one. There's been some Disney shorts coming out that have been out with Zootopia, which is a lot of fun. So if you guys haven't seen Zootopia, it is a great movie, very entertaining. So my number one favorite animated Disney movie is what? Ratatouille. I love watching Remy and Linguini, where the rat sits in his head and kind of pulls his hair and makes him do all kind of stuff and makes him cook. I love to cook too, so it's a fun movie, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I appreciate it, Trajan. Let's read them off one more time. So what's number 5? WALL-E. Number 4.
The Sword and the Stone.
Yep. Number 3.
Robin Hood.
Number 2.
Zootopia.
And number 1.
Ratatouille.
All right. Say thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Say it was a pleasure to hang out with you for a little bit. Say peace. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That was my boy. So have a lot of fun with that. And I was glad to make him a part of this. But check out those animated Disney movies, man. So coming out of the timeout, we're gonna do our little layup line. Just some quick little stories I'm gonna throw in there. Thursday night, Zion Williamson, his first career triple-double. 27, 10 rebounds, 11 assists in a win against the Suns. We can finally say that Zion, that's like he had a great game and he didn't get hurt. So I know this is what a lot of people have been waiting for with Zion Williams. You finally get to see the talent that he has. It's not just every once in a while an explosive dunk. He is a talented kid, but he's not a kid no more. So hopefully, this is some of the future we're going to see from Zion Williamson. So very excited to see that for you. Congratulations, Zion. That's exactly why you're still there on the Pelicans, because they know this is the talent you have. So hopefully you can stay in shape and keep healthy. So next one, we're going to jump into some of the Kevin Durant rumors. I know there's not much going on with this right now, but we'll touch base on it a little bit. It looks like after the season, kind of hearing that the Suns are going to move on from Kevin. They're going to try to trade him away. I know they tried to trade him earlier this season, and he didn't want to go because he didn't want to move. There was more emotion involved in it, so he didn't want to do that. He wanted to stay committed to his team and stay committed to his teammates, which I appreciate. And again, he's kind of saying some of the right things, but he doesn't want anybody to tell him how to finish his career. But some of the landing spots, and one of the landing spots we're hearing that may make a push for Kevin Durant is the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, the Dallas Mavericks are under a lot of fire right now and taking in a lot of heat from trading away Luka Doncic. But does getting an aging superstar lessen the impact of what they just did? I don't think so. I mean, that's going to be a nice story. Go out and get Kevin Durant to pair with Kyrie Irving, and possibly if Anthony Davis can get healthy, you pair with a healthy AD. Maybe that can do something. But I don't know. Dallas, I don't see that move saving your franchise. It may give you a year or two of having the Slim Reaper dropping 30 for you, but I don't see that move as a championship move. But I'll be curious to see how this develops as we get closer to the end of the season, especially with the Suns not playing very well. So that was just very interesting hearing that. And then, guys, we have some great games going on. We're about to tip off here real quick. I know Friday night we got the Celtics, Cavs, Pistons and Nuggets, Lakers and Clippers. Man, Detroit Rock City, Pistons, 8 wins in a row. The East, better watch it because Detroit is rocking. Cade Cunningham is going to get some MVP mentions because they have that team playing really well. It's hard to say like they're going to really make some noise in the playoffs because they have been the bottom of the NBA the last 3-4 years. So we'll see how it progresses. We'll see what the rest of the year brings. But, man, there is some excitement back in Detroit in the NBA. And it is great to finally see that again because it has been a long time coming because just Detroit hasn't been that good. So Detroit Rock City. And, of course, Friday night Lakers Clippers. So that other game, how does LeBron bounce back? These back-to-backs. He says he's playing and feeling good. It'd be interesting to see the closer that they get into the playoffs. Will they start backing LeBron off of some of these back-to-backs? Will they do the same with Luka and try to back him off and really kind of ease him into it and get ready for the playoffs? So lots of great things to look forward to. It's got an exciting weekend, guys. This season went from being pretty quiet to now all of a sudden, boom, now we have all these things going on, all this excitement going on here. Of course, the 76ers, just bury them and get rid of them. Chef Curry cooking up magic. LeBron James energized at 40, giving the old guys some excitement here. Just lots of storylines right now in the NBA. So keep here. Stay tuned. I'm going to try to bring you everything I can and everything I learn. I appreciate you guys joining me. Please, Boom Broadcasting, jump on the YouTube channel, Help us out. Get us that strive for 500. Tell a friend. Let's get everybody you can to come and subscribe. We got a lot of great content here, man. And sports is just heating up. You got March Madness, April. We're going to have the NFL draft, NFL free agencies heating up. We talk about a lot of that stuff on Boom Broadcasting, Out of Pocket with Michael Davis. You got to check us out, man. Please like, subscribe, and then drop me a comment, guys. Anything you see from me, you want to hear from me, you got some questions, drop a line on me, man. Let's go. I want to hear what you have to say. Tell me what you want, and I will provide. So thank you all for being here. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday, 12 p.m. Again, I'm Jason Colenso. This is 3 from Deep, and I will see you later. Peace.